Who will rule New York's underworld? And in issue 28 of The Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker achieves an important milestone. The Green Goblin is back again, still trying to control the underworld. At the most appearances now for any Spidey villain, has he overstayed his welcome? Let's find out. But first, evil Overlord May has stolen Pete's Spidey costume, all part of her sinister plan, no doubt.
Dude, give it up.
Not until her evil plans have been thwarted. She may be the OG villain, but in this issue, we have the GG villain. The Green Goblin is back and he's talking to somebody called the Crime Master. No prizes for guessing what his occupation is.
Is he a farmer? I bet he's a farmer.
Anyway, he and the Green Goblin both know each other's secret identity, so there's an uneasy truce there. Well, the Crime Master is ambitious, and he throws bombs, and he threatens people. Meanwhile, Foswell is getting ready for work at the Bugle, and is thinking about the dangerous game he's playing. Is he the Crime Master? Who knows?
Well, duh. That's what it's referring to.
I mean, well, last time he called himself the Big Man, so the obvious and unimaginative name is kind of his thing. But we cut to Pete, who catches up with Betty, and man, she is pissed. Like, look at that face. And Pete says this. Pete, not me. I don't want any women's jumping on here all about the sexism and stuff.
Ha, too funny. We both know there's no women watching this.
Prove me wrong. Somebody out there, prove me wrong. Anyway, Pete's out to prove Flash and his gang wrong. After having enough of their crap, Pete launches into them, but suddenly realizes that he can't thrash the living bejesus out of them because he'll give away his secret identity. And Liz turns up and is all like, ugh, boys, you both suck. I'm out of here. But they've got a bigger problem because the principal saw the whole thing and now they're in trouble. But the thing about Pete is he's Pete and guilty over his actions. He takes full responsibility for it, and even Flash, overhearing the conversation, is like, holy crap, dude's a legend. And us readers are all like, duh. And you know what? To Flash's credit, he goes in and tells the whole truth to the principal. Because good deeds can breed good deeds, people, and sometimes hearts and minds can change, and you don't always need to wear a cape to prove that. Elsewhere, the Crime Master is up to his shenanigans again, and later, Pete wanders past the costume shop, and guess what? Old Spidey is now so popular you can buy a suit, which he does, though he has to web it to hold it in at some places.
Hope he won't need the bathroom.
Ew, me too. But he's spying on Foswell's apartment and enters slowly just as the Crime Master turns up.
No way. I thought Foswell was a red herring.
Bang! The Crime Master shoots, Spidey dodges and flees out the window. Crime Master chases him to the rooftop. Twice more. The Crime Master fires. Spidey continues to dodge and evades the shots until his opponent is out of ammo. Knowing this, he jumps in on the Crime Master, but oh no, old CM releases some gas and groggy, Spider-Man falls back, his villainous enemy knocking him off the roof. Fortunately, Spidey has enough webbing to sling to safety. He returns to Foswell's place, only to find a map and location marked on the waterfront. He goes to check out the location, but the Crime Master has just had another uneasy meeting with the Green Goblin, and instead, Spidey runs into Meanie Greenie. Surprise, the Goblin hits him point blank with a pumpkin bomb, knocking Spidey out. Goblin tries to unmask him, but he can't. The webbing Pete used to hold down his suit is too strong, and the Goblin doesn't have time to stick around. At the meeting at the waterfront, the Crime Master announces he is the ultimate crime boss. The Green Goblin turns up, carrying an unconscious Spider-Man under his arms. To be continued. We start where the last issue left off, and well, I mean, I thought this was a kid's show. The Goblin has knocked out poor Spidey and showing him off to all his friends like it's kindergarten show and tell time. And the Crime Master is like, hey, not cool. Didn't you see the no goblins allowed outside? And the Goblin is like, I can't read anything through my thick eyelashes. And yes, seriously, I know that joke's overplayed, but I'm really waiting for the issue when the Goblin finally doesn't have eyelashes.
Guess you could say you'll keep an eye On it.
Ush, you've been hanging around me too long, girl. But the mobsters have already chosen. They want the Green Goblin as their new boss. To celebrate, they're gonna kill Spider-Man, ain't they? But one of the mobsters, some dude with one eye called Patch, not Wolverine, isn't too thrilled about it. Lucky, Spidey is waking up just in time, and although still chained, leaps into action like a possessed pogo stick. Just as he's getting swamped by goons, the police rush in. Someone's tipped them off. They wreak havoc, and Spidey is free to break his chains. The Goblin fires at him, the Crime Master fires at him, the goons are fighting the police, Spidey is fighting the goons. It's absolute mayhem. Eventually, outmatched, the goons give it up, and the Goblin and the Crime Master escape. Later, Spidey follows up on his Foswell suspicion with Jameson, and Foswell arrives shortly after, whereas across the street, the Crime Master aims his gun through the window at them. But the police interfere and they shoot. The Crime Master reels against the roof parapet. He knows the Goblin's secret identity, but he passes before it can reach his lips.
So Foswell isn't the Crime Master.
Nah, of course not. He was merely an informant that acted as bait to lure out the Crime Master. He was the one-eyed man all along. Elsewhere, across town, the Goblin plans to lay low for a while before seeking his revenge against his greatest enemy, Spider-Man. The old principal is up in Pete's face again, but instead of getting in trouble, he tells him that Flash actually came through and admitted his part in the brouhaha that occurred in issue 26. So I mean, that's something alright. But oh, what's this? Now Liz is giving him the cold shoulder? Flash still gives Pete lip, but Liz was firm when she said she didn't want anything to do with either of them. After school, Pete visits Spencer Smythe, inventor of Jameson's tenderly robot from issue 25. He introduces himself as that guy from the Bugle, and while Smythe is distracted, steals the spider costume back. But as he's trying to smuggle it out, some geezer called Raxton assaults Smythe and steals the liquid metal alloy that they were both working on. Uh-oh, an evildoer and a chemical agent. You know what that means.
Villain origin story.
Yep. It has all the cliches written over it. The vessel cracks open, the golden liquid showers over him, his skin absorbing it from head to toe, even though he's wearing clothes. And thus, Spidey's most evil nemesis, the Golden Shower Man, is born.
What?
Okay, I jumped the gun on that one. Outside, though, we have more cliche moments. Raxton is almost hit by a car, and all of a sudden, affected by the chemical, he gets really, really mad, really quickly, and hammers the car with his new super strength and durable skin. Raxton is now the Molten Man. For reals this time, that's his actual name. Spidey, now with his own suit, follows Raxton to his apartment. They tussle, but old Metalhead is slow and now Spidey is fast, and all the Molten Man is doing is making sure he'll never get his bomb back. But then Raxton gets all angry, and you wouldn't like him when he's angry because his shirt gets ripped off, and that means he gets +3 agility and +5 dexterity, and now his blows are starting to land a left, a right, but Spider-Man lands his own, a massive uppercut, but the Molten Man is covered in metal, and he's still standing. They fight, breaking through the apartment door and down the stairs until they're in the basement. Spidey breaks the lock and uses his spider sense to creep up on Raxton. Webbing a strong rope, he pulls, he pounces, tying the man's feet and wrists together and putting Baby in the corner. Later, we have a very important moment. Peter Parker graduates from high school. Not only does he graduate, but he achieves the highest scholastic average in the school's history. The boy's smart, like really smart, and guess who the guest speaker is? One J. Jonah Jameson. Yay. Can't wait to listen to the old fool dribble on for half an hour. Then everything happens so fast. Pete graduates, they all celebrate, but Liz is still down in the dumps for some reason. JJJ cracks onto evil overlord May. Pete goes to see Liz and she admits that yes, it was always more than just flirting for her, but she has a real deep down crush on our kid. And now that school's over, they may never see each other again. Pete goes to respond, but she cuts him off. Her parents are waiting for her. Goodbye, Peter. Goodbye. It's a touching moment, but one that kind of falls a little bit flat. We haven't spent much time with Liz outside the Flash Pete triangle, so it's hard to sympathise with her, especially as she's intentionally bouncing between the two. The whole graduation thing falls a little flat as well. It kind of comes out of nowhere. I think if they had Pete studying for exams or even mentioning that it was coming up over the last few issues, it would have felt a little more important. Instead, it's just like, hey, here's your certificate. You're pretty smart. Next issue. I feel like they just needed to fill some space for this issue and we're like, hey, let's have him graduate. Either way, our kid's going to college. Hey, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this approach, please like and subscribe for more videos. And remember, if you're interested in reading the full story, the easiest way is to sign up to Marvel Unlimited at marvel.com/unlimited. I need to breathe.